Hello, welcome to WayPoint Survival. Today, I'm going to show you how to take some dirt and some simple items, and we're going to make a hobo cooler from 1917. Stay tuned. Oh, that's good. You know, there's nothing like some cold tea on a hot summer day. Now, if you'll remember, not too long ago, I did a video on how to make the hobo hay cooker, which would be something that a hobo would use, was very commonly known back in the day, of how to have a small fire and then cook all day long while you were at work or whatever you might be doing. And so that video did pretty well, and I wanted to do something in the opposite direction. It's starting to get warm. Summer's on the way, and we're almost through the month of May here. And so I want to show you how to make a hobo cooler, but it's something really simple, and one of the main ingredients is dirt. So during the 1800s and on into the early part of the 1900s of the 20th century, these were very common. Just a large tinned bucket and used for all kinds of items. And they would often take these camping. It has a lot of uses besides carrying large quantities of water and boiling water and things like that. As long as you keep it full, don't melt the tin and the solder, they work just fine. And they were much lighter. Aluminum hadn't quite become popular yet, and of course the 1800s it was very expensive at first, and then later on you did get some more inexpensive cooking gear made from aluminum, but tin was still very, very popular and used because there were a lot of tinsmiths. A lot of people could work with this and do it. It was quick and easy, and it was also cheap, so the common man could afford it. It was something that a hobo could easily get a hold of because so many things were sold in these tins, and they were just everywhere. So you could find these sitting around a lot of places. You could find them in garages and barns and just anywhere like that. It could have bolts and nuts and screws, nails, all sorts of things that people would store in here. And of course they're rodent proof, so they'd be great around the kitchen. Of course people would store lard and just literally anything you can think of. So these were just ubiquitous of the time. But they took them camping. And so like we do today, if you've got a large vessel, you'll put your smaller things inside of it and then stuff, you know, wash rags and cleaning cloths and things like that around it to keep it from getting damaged, from things getting broken. Especially they used a lot of glass items back then. So what we have here is we have an assortment of items that you would need to keep cool in camp. First of all, we have in wax paper, we have some bacon. It's already cooked, but we need to keep it cool. We have a wedge of hard cheese. So you can tell, nice hard cheese there. We also have a bottle of milk. You can see this right there, bottle of milk. And this of course is in an extra denim container. You can hold it like that. And that's just to protect it from banging against the other glass bottle, which has our sweet tea in it. And then we have a press fit tin that has butter in it. All right, so we would keep these in our bucket to take them to a place, but then the problem is, as you're at camp, how do you keep all of this cool? And so there's a very simple and easy method, and we're going to get to that, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Before we go any farther, I'd like to ask your help in something. We've had really slow growth this year, and if you could subscribe to the channel, we'd really appreciate it. If you found it helpful, and make sure and give us a thumbs up. And then of course, sign up for the WayPoint Survival and Prepping 101 newsletter. That's so we can stay in touch with you in case something happens to this platform. We can continue to stay in touch with you and provide great videos for you. So to give you an idea of what's in here and how it would pack, again, the lid comes off. You can see in there we have our 2 glass bottles with the corks, our cheese, bacon, and then our butter. And you could set this in a stream and kind of weight it down so it didn't flow off and make sure and tie it to something. But there's a better way to do that, and you don't have to walk back and forth between the creek, worry about animals getting a hold of your food, or a flood coming up and you walk up the next day and your whole pot and pan and everything else is gone. Along with your bucket, which has all of your victuals and stuff like that in there, which is very important, and make sure that it does have a lid that fits pretty well, you're also going to need some kind of cord. This is just a white cotton cord, so you're going to need maybe 15-20 feet of that. And then you're going to need to find some sort of a bag or sack. This has had seeds in it, but you're just going to need to find some sort of a bag or sack that will just slip up over top of the can. the large can. So that's important. Now, if you don't have a large sack like this, you can take some burlap, and with just some rough stitches, you can sew it up across the bottom and then just do some whip stitching really quick down the side. You can make a nice burlap bag just real fast, and that will work also. Once you get your bag situation figured out, you're going to need to get some dirt, and you want to put it down in the bottom of the bag. And you might have to take 2 or 3 shovelfuls to get it right. All right, there's another. And I think we're going to need maybe 1 more to make that work right. All right, and here is the 3rd one. There we go. That shovel down. Okay, that's pretty good. Kind of even it out a little bit there. And you want to make sure this is relatively dry dirt, although that's not going to matter in the long run. But for right now, it's important. The next thing we got to do is we need to find a branch close to camp that will do the job that we need it to do. And we've got one right there that's about perfect. And you'll want to, of course, keep your cord hanked well. But what we're going to do, we're going to come over here. We're going to pull this down right here. All right, as you can see, we've got the cord around the limb. We've got a short end here. We've got the longer end. All right, so let's go ahead and attach this to our can. There's different ways to do this. I'm not going to be doing anything fancy. I'm very fond of some half hitches, so that's what we're going to do. Just a couple of half hitches, and that should hold it. There we go. So we got that. And then we want to pull this up to about here, where it's going to hang pretty well by the tree. You can kind of see that. So right here, it's hanging. That'll work. It doesn't have to be far off the ground. We're not worried about bears or anything right now. All right, now all we have to do is take the long end of the rope, and we can take it back to another tree and just tie it off. Again, something very simple. We don't have to work at this real hard because we want to be able to take it down if necessary. So, all right, so here we go. We've got this perfect. It's right where we want it. I can get a hold of it easy. I can get into it without having to get on tiptoe. So it's a perfect height. All right, now we have our bag of dirt, and we come over here to where this is, and we're going to put this around it. Okay, so like I said, it should just fit, and this does. This is perfect. There's not much room left over, all the way down to where it's sitting on the dirt. It's very important, okay? Then we want to take a piece of cordage and just go around the top a couple of times. And then tie it in a bow like you would your shoe. Because this is supposed to be something that you want to be able to take off quickly. Because again, this is where our food is, and we want to be able to get to it. Now there's one more thing that we have to do, and this is why it's important that you have a lid on your pot. You're going to take your coffee pot here, or an old can, or whatever you have, and we're going to pour all over this. We are going to soak this, and this might take a little bit of doing, and that's all right. Just keep working at it, and the more you do it, the more it'll soak in. Just kind of go slow, kind of rub it a little bit. And here's the thing, you don't want mud down in the bottom of this. This is like a swamp cooler, right? So you're going to get probably 10 to 20 degrees cooler. And notice that I've put it up under a tree. It's in the shade. Obviously it's going to be better because we've got a limb here. But this right here is going to help us keep our food cool. Now, you will have to come out every once in a while, and you'll have to pour more water on it because it is an evaporative cooler. But this is going to help keep your stuff from spoiling. And this is very period correct. This goes back at least 150, 200 years, probably a lot longer than that. The ancient Egyptians were using zier pots and evaporative cooling to even make ice, I understand, thousands of years ago. So again, it's the same idea that we use today in air conditioning systems. But this is just a super quick and simple way, as long as this dirt stays moist, you get a little bit of a breeze, it's really going to help. And actually and honestly, this works even better on hot, dry days than it does a day like today where we've had significant rain. And of course, if it does rain, that's just going to help us out that much more because we don't have to put water on it. The rain will help to keep it cold and keep it cool while it's out here. And then we just come out and access our food anytime we want, and we can be satisfied that to the best of our ability, in the early days, we're keeping our food as cool as possible in the days before they had ice. Well, I hope you've enjoyed another little foray into the past as we talk about the things that the hobos did and many other people as well. This wasn't just a hobo thing, but it's a way that you can cool your food and keep it from spoiling at least maybe a day or two longer, depending on the outside temperatures. And it is very effective. I hope you like it and try it. Thanks again for watching. This is James Bender for WayPoint Survival. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure and check out the links in the description box below, just under the More button. While you're down there, you'll find the link for our WayPoint Survival digital class. This is where you can train in the comfort and convenience of your own backyard the top 20 skills that we consider to be the most important from our Phase 1 Survival and Bushcraft class. And it is a lot of fun. I think you'll like it. You'll also find the link for the WayPoint Survival and Prepping 101 newsletter, absolutely free to you. We don't sell your information. It's just something for us to keep in-house so we can make sure and keep contact with you in case something happens to this platform. You'll also find the link for waypointsurvival.com, which is where you can sign up to take in-person classes at our beautiful training facility here in Southern Ohio. And those classes are ongoing, so make sure and look those dates up and also check out the required gear list. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. And when you do subscribe, make sure and press that bell button so that you can stay notified of all of our upcoming videos, and we'll talk to you next time.